realistically speaking, they just weren't ready to go out yet. We do have session 2 of Group 1 coming up a little bit later. That's going to be the money session in our opinion. So make sure to stick with us. Thank you for tuning in for Global Time Attack Finals Day 2. And overall, Professional Awesome was able to get their car on track in some laps with Tom O'Gorman running a 42. Sean Cagle still at a 140.9, really pushing for that 39. And the we had a very interesting day yesterday. Had Cole Powelson get into the 37s. He did a 37.9, leading this event overall. Professional Awesome was able to get their car on track in some laps with Tom O'Gorman running a 42. Sean Cagle still at a 140.9, really pushing for that 39. And the talk of the town right now is Dai Yoshihara in the evasive Motorsports Honda S2000 with a 42. It's going to be a good day. We do see that 2 of the big teams are not out. 3 of the big teams are not out in this first session. Maybe because the track's a little cool, maybe because they weren't prepped. But realistically speaking, they just weren't ready to go out yet. We do have session 2 of Group 1 coming up a little bit later. That's going to be the money session in our opinion. So make sure to stick with us. Thank you for tuning in for Global Time Attack Finals Day 2.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. It's only one in here right now, so what's up, bro? But getting this shit started. Kevin Burke up by a 10th. Lawrence Yoon in the GT3 a second behind. God damn, somebody just ran a 137.9. Holy fuck.
Currently on track right now. He said he's going to skip the first session, come out in the second. Same with Sean Cagle, and we believe Evasive is running the same tactic. Professional Awesome is out there running lap after lap with a 139.936. Let's get that unlimited standing back up. Let's see how that compares to Cole's time yesterday. I believe Cole's
still like a
975. This would put
2 seconds off, no?
Tom O'Gorman and Professional Awesome in first place for the event, unofficially, of course.
No, he's still 2 seconds off. I don't know. Somebody ran a 137.9, and then this guy just ran a 139.9, and they're saying that he's going to be in first place. I don't think they saw that 137.
Anybody who's been following Professional Awesome long enough knows that they have a history here of doing
Kevin Burke, 48.5. He's either on the same tires or track conditions aren't as good. We'll see.
That is incredible. Oh, you know what? My mistake, by the way. Cole did a 137.9. I was thinking of Sean Cagle trying to get into the sub 40, so I got very excited for him. But this is good because O'Gorman and the Pro A team have been fighting this car for a very long time at Buttonwillow. That means they really have it sorted. They had a few issues yesterday that, with the help of some competitors, as Mike Lewin and I spoke, really sorted it out. So Tom O'Gorman's getting comfortable in the car. He's already sub 40. That means he wants to push to be faster than he's been here before.
That's fucking crazy, sub 40s.
I believe, in 2018, the last time that this car and Tom O'Gorman were here. So if he's able to do a 39 in the session the other competitors are saying is not going to be as fast, we're ready for a runoff come Group 1 session 2.
This shit crazy. That Lancer's fucking crazy with the arrow. I wonder why not too many people went out session 1. 4 cars.
Kevin Burke is about a second off his lap time from yesterday, and
Yeah.
Gary Wong seems to have not laid down a lap at all. He must have gone out, started a hot lap, and then came back in. What we can see here on camera is the Pro A Evo. This is the car to watch.
That shit is crazy.
All around. If the drone's up and ready to go, we'll see if we get it in the back straight also. Big shout out to our production team here, to our drone pilots, everyone who's helping us give you guys the best show possible. This is Tom going.
It's a dope view.
Hill.
Please stand by. The fuck just happened? A 138.7 that Lancer just ran. What the fuck? Kevin still, I don't think he's going to beat his time. Still at a 148. A 38.7, that's fucking insane. And this man's eating with the fucking mic on, bro. I'm over there chomping down on some shit.
It does look like Gary Wong has broken back into the 47s, but he did a 47.462 yesterday, so no matter how much they want to push, I'm not sure the track is conducive to faster laps on these tires right now. When we talk about Tom O'Gorman, though, and Professional Awesome, they were never able to set a fast lap. They were still working their way up. Tom missed the first 2 sessions. Some few things went down. I was talking to Mike about it. It was great that they got him here. He did some installation laps in session 3 and then pushed it in session 4. So it's great to see these guys pushing these lap times right now, but I think the next session is going to be the money session.
We'll see. Track is cold right now. Great. Here we go. Just sitting around waiting for another 20 fucking minutes for another group to go on. Cars I'm excited to see this today. You know, I want to track closely on the unlimited class because it seems like it's going to be pretty damn competitive. That guy ran a 38.7. First is right now running a 37.7, so got a full second to knock off.
Like Kevin Burke was able to get into a 47.399.
Oh.
If we compare that to his lap from yesterday, it's about 300 short of what he did yesterday. So he's finding the lap time and the pace in that car. This is the first weekend we've had him in competition where the car has ran flawlessly. So seeing him continuously push down laps, it's great. No issues. He had a freak incident the last time he competed with us. His rotor exploded and went through the floor of the car. Not something you could say you see very often at the track.
What else? So limited class, that's gonna be interesting to watch. The limited class as well, I think is gonna be pretty good to watch too. It seems very close. I don't think if Kevin can't break his lap time from yesterday, can't beat his lap time from yesterday today, um, will it be enough to hold up? I don't know. There's some fast fuckers out there. I think that guy that's out there right now, Wong, I think that's the guy that's currently holding second. So, I mean, he's still 6/10 off Kevin's time. Yeah, we'll see. But, I mean, Kevin's SDK looks so good on track. And then in street class, I'm not really. when you think about the guys that were in street class before, like laying down 44s and shit, like that's insane. So like the guys that are what laying down 49s this year, it's just I'm not gonna say it's unimpressive or nothing like that, but the class just seems um, a little slower, of course, by a whole 5 seconds. Pretty massive. This is a pretty dope drone shot, though. He's pushing. My man's just pushing. Cotton's corners. Crazy how flat it looks from up there. He's fucking moving. Little jump, little jump. Got it under control. Okay, alright. Going up the Phil Hill. Can see the new track in the background over there too. And I think what I saw is that Kevin's running a 200 tread wear tire, so he's not even like at the at the limit of the tire that he can run. Oh, that was a good rotation right there. Damn, that shit just rotated. Oh my God, 46.9, bro. He was fucking moving.
Kevin Burke, a 146.995, pushing his lead in limited class. Kevin was a true believer that on street tires, this was the best session, and I gotta say, he may not have been wrong.
46.9. Yeah, that was really fucking good. He was moving. That last corner, that shit just went and dipped. My boy was out. Yeah, so the guy out on track right now, Kevin Wong, or in this run group, is also second place. I don't know, man. I think Kevin just wrapped it up with that 46. Damn, man. I can't wait for Coda. Can't fucking wait. Coda's gonna be dope. Alright, I'll be right back. I am going to take a break myself. Catch y'all in a sec.
As you can see, it looks like Group 1, Session 1 has ended for here. Tom O'Gorman with a 38.767, knocking on the door of the 37s now. I know that Cole Powson and the Life team never felt like their #1 spot was safe, but this is absolutely affirming that. Sean Cagle and the Caliber Customs team is absolutely going to come out Group 2, Group 1, Session 2. They just wanted to save their stickers for what they felt was the best session possible. As we didn't see Evasive or Dio Shihara, I feel they probably have the same mentality. Kevin Burke at a 146.995. He really felt yesterday that the money session for him was going to be Session 1 because he's on street tires. They come up faster. Unlike the unlimited cars on slicks that are going to have a little bit of trouble keeping heat in the tires, even Sean Cagle and Life who use tire warmers. When you go out there and the track is that cold, it's very difficult to drive on that, especially on warm-up laps. Feels like you're on an ice rink, and it's just not conducive to fast lap times.
Alright, I'm back. Got the F1 race in another hour. At 3 o'clock, hour and a half. Damn, I'm excited. Interlagos, by far the best racetrack on the F1 calendar. The racing is the best. The track allows for so much passing. The cars don't have the same big advantages as they have on other tracks. You can see when Red Bull is next to Mercedes down a straight. Not one of the long straights where you can open DRS, but let's say one of the shorter straights. Heading up to the first big sweeper, Red Bull's only able to get about a half car in front of a Mercedes car, which, you know, they're not able to use their speed as like a serious advantage, unlike other tracks where, you know, if there's a long ass straight, even in DRS, like Red Bull's fucking gone. Alright, here we go.
Here we go. Group 2, Session 1. Group 2, Session 1 is going hot on track. I don't see Johnny Hernandez. I mean, I do not see Thomas Smith, but I do see Johnny Hernandez, so he's definitely going out there to try to set a faster lap time. I also see Jose Mejia. He had some real gremlins in this car. This is the first time the car's been together in the limited form.
I haven't seen that car set a lap time all weekend. That was one of the cars that I really wanted to see.
On track. His electronic power steering would go out anytime he put it under load, and they found out that the battery was the cause. Luckily, thanks to our paddock, our team here, and every other team out there, they were able to get him the exact same battery to test in his car, and now he's out sending flyers. I now see Thomas Smith showing up. He was a little late to the party. The one downside about not making it to the grid call is you do not make your grid position. So instead of being in the top 3, 4 where he belongs, he's going to be starting from the back. So he's going to have to mind that gap and really be smart about how he sets that first lap.
Damn. It's a pretty good group to watch. E36 gang repping. The funny looking wing on the back. The GoPro attached to the rear windshield. Got that no lift shift, boy.
We have almost everybody out here starting their hot laps of Group 2 section. They're being led out by Robert Robles in his Street Class A90, followed by Lawrence Yun in his Limited Class Porsche, Clayton Yates in his Limited Class car, Oscar Jackson in his Exhibition Porsche GT3, Johnny Hernandez in his Subaru STI, Will Dries in the Limited Class BMW,
There's that Type R. That shit looks rigid, boy. Toby with the 48.7. Lawrence with the 56.6. He's probably getting those tires warm. If he's running 3 Rs like I think he is, based on his times, he needs to warm those shits up because that's a tire. If it's anywhere near 40 degrees, straight up ice on the first lap. Looks like everyone's using this first lap to kind of settle in, get the tires warm. Everyone's running mid-50s.
Robert Robles about 3/10 off his fastest lap from yesterday. It looks like the track is starting to get a little bit heat into it. That's the rough part about the faster cars starting early in the morning. They're the ones that are actually putting heat into the track for everybody else.
Does this thing have a sequential? It's limited, so it can. Thomas Smith, 49.7. Looks like these guys are getting ready to.
Thomas Smith, even though he was pitted in the very back, showed up a little bit late to the paddock, was still able to run a 49.751. It's a little off of his fastest lap from yesterday, but he's really working into the pace. It's hard to say whether he was a little flustered because he showed up late or, he didn't get his pre-lap routine out. Obviously, drivers are creatures of habit. They want to go out there. They want to be strapped in, ready to go, clear their mind before they go out and set a lap. Oh, it looks like we have a bumper off. Let me see if one of my guys on this fixed camera can catch this car directly in front of us here. We have a A90 Supra in the hot pits with its rear bumper completely torn off. It looks like it's very possible that he had an off somewhere on the backside of the track. All it takes is a little bit to catch those plastic bumpers, and they come right off. So
yeah, that shit is fucked.
It's not just a simple fix. They'll probably have to remove the diffuser. But that right there is actually the gentleman that was leading this session, Robert Robles, at the 148. We now have Mr. Yates at a 48.969.
Ah, fuck. I wanted to get a picture of that shit.
You guys looking on the stream or looking at the times, I want to go over what these colors mean to the left, okay?
There it is.
The blue is limited class. The green is street class. The white is pro comp and exhibition. You will see black, which is unlimited, and you will see yellow, which is enthusiast. As we do grid these cars based on time differential instead of classing, you will see multi-class racing going on. It is better for us and our competitors if they are around cars at the same time delta. That way when we let them out and we let them set their fast laps, people aren't catching each other just because they're in the same class. What I do want to do is go over the class descriptions for you because it is early in the day. This way anyone who's tuning in early hasn't had a chance to catch us or knows what's going on.
Okay, Cody, trying to fix that shit.
Class. This is the entry-level class. Driver must be the registered owner, factory transmissions only. Aero mod-wise, you're allowed a little 3-inch splitter and a wing that has to stay. Oh, we have JP off in the bus stop right there. He was sticking it to the right. And it looked like he was trying to
clusterfuck of cars too.
A little squirrely. So he did the right thing. He stayed to the right. Waited for everyone to go by, and then came back. JP's been competing with us for a little bit of time. He's smart enough to know that when he's off, he's not going to shove it back on track in front of everybody else. So let's go ahead and get back to the class descriptions. Enthusiast class is also a class that does not allow professional drivers. There are a lot of nuances to the rules, of course, because this is going to be the entry-level class, but we just want to make sure that competitors can really get their...
Type R is running a 50.7, the M4 is running a 50.9.
The first major class that we would consider a time attack class is...
That car ran a 48 last year, the M4. That shit ran a 48 last year with a pro driver.
Street class is where it actually starts to become the true competition. Anyone who's run with GTA Street, Grid Life Street Mod, any street class oriented comp will tell you this is probably where the most competition happens. These are people who absolutely are pushing.
First event on that car, so I don't know if they have everything sorted out. No, I doubt it.
Gear sets are open, so dog box are allowed. Moderate aero, as in you're allowed to have a 5-inch splitter from any direction. You're allowed to have a wing that hangs off 5 inches from the rear. Canards, barge boards, things like that. Usually,
barge boards. I don't know what the fuck that is, bro.
Yokohama AO52 is the spec tire with a all-wheel drive max width of 265 and a front and rear-wheel drive max width of 295. Engine swaps are limited to an engine available from the same manufacturer, but it can go up or down 2 cylinders. So that means if you had a car with a 4-cylinder Honda, you could put a V6 Honda in it, things like that. Limited class is where it starts to really open. Pro drivers are finally allowed into the game. Sequential transmissions are now allowed, but they have to be hand shifted. No paddle shifting unless it's factory. The aero box in limited is huge. You're allowed an aero box of, I believe, 14 inches out and 10 inches forward. You have to still use the AO52, though it is unlimited on sizing. Again, this is when we're not having supply chain issues. There are drivers on multiple styles of tire right now. And then engine swaps are open. This is where you can...
The AO52 isn't even fucking made in the size of a GT3 car. It's retarded.
Unlimited class is exactly how it sounds. Unlimited class
it's fucking trash. Stupid rule.
Mods, which every class does.
It's probably the only rule that I actually don't like. Everything else I can get over. I've had my complaints about GTA, but...
Splitter on a car, you're not making a corner. The drag is incredible. You have a wing that's 18 feet above the car. It's not functional. These teams are going to build the car to what they are able to actually do fast laps with. Sure, there's been people that have done ridiculous things in the past. A lot of them have worked. Obviously, anyone who remembers Christian Rado's front wing TC, a lot of people called that silly, but damn if it didn't work. But this is really where you get to bring out your ingenuity as a team and as a race team and as a competitor. So that's a limited class. We do have a pro comp class. This is for anything that doesn't fit within the rule set. Now, a lot of people ask, well, can I just take my car and register in pro comp? And the answer is absolutely not. If you have a car that is registerable in another class, pro comp is not for you. It's not the quote-unquote free trophy class. This is for people to bring out factory race cars like Ryan DeSex and his BTCC Fujitsu Subaru. That car was never a VIN registered street vehicle. That was a body in white built into a race car. But we love seeing it out here. The history. You have Sean Bassett in his tube chassis 240Z carbon body. We're going to have some great cars, I believe, at COTA when we come to Pro Comp class, if the word on the street stays how it's going to be. So this is the class where people can really bring out things to show what they can do as drivers or as builders as teams. Currently leading this session is going to be Mr. Yates with 148.696. It does look like Robert Robles was not able to go much faster. Thomas Smith, same thing. Jose Mejia at 150.6. I would say that him and the Art of Attack team would be disappointed with this because we know how fast they are. They know how fast they are. They've done a 150 in street trim, so it's more important for us to see them progress. And with all the electrical gremlins and issues that they had yesterday, hopefully they were able to really iron that out and pick up some time. Will Dries in the Art of Attack BMW with the 150.675. I am going to tell you a little something about that car. It's not shifting. So it is a paddle shift vehicle. Obviously, it's a BMW, probably has a ZF, just like the Supra. I'm not going to pretend I know everything about that car, but it is a paddle shifted vehicle. It's stuck in automatic. For whatever reason, the paddle shift module isn't working. So in sections like the button back to the left of here after turn one, he can't even get on the gas until the car is completely straightened out and on the straight because it's lugging the motor. It's not shifting where he needs it to. So for him to be running a 150 with how it's functioning right now, that's great. Obviously, it's a caveat. We want him and the car to be functioning at full bore so he can really push the limits, but at least he's out there, he's pushing it. It does look like we had Mr. Yun just...
You calling cap on that, Jason?
At a 149.338.
I don't know, man. Seems like showing up on competition day with a car that's never been tested probably isn't the best move. But it seems like that's something pretty regular within the time attack community. Just fuck it, just wing it, just show up with what you got.
So currently it's Clayton Yates at a 148.696, leading the group. Robert Robles with 148.786. It does look like that Audi just caught a black flag. He may have gone 4 off or had an incident with something hanging off his car, so they're going to go.
The fool still trying to send it over the line. He just went off in the last corner, as if that lap was going to count.
Even in competition, if you have 4 off, you come in and get the car checked out. It can be something as silly as a part is dangling off your car that you missed that could, 1, cause damage to your vehicle, 2, cause damage to other vehicles. So for both safety and the peace of mind of all competitors around you, you have 4 off, you come in and get checked out. Thomas Smith at a 49.751, 4th in this class. Right behind him, Jose Mejia at a 50.654. Will Dries at a 56.75, and Oscar Jackson.
I'm really surprised that these guys aren't setting the fast times right off the bat in the morning. Got that rear end a little loose.
Great shot we have there up top of the sweeper.
It is dope.
As you can see, there's more track out. Obviously, anyone who's run tracks know a lot of them have multiple orientations. We run CW13, which would be clockwise 13. That's the time attack orientation. It's the inaugural Super Lap battle here in the Super Street days when we had all of the cars cars from Japan and competing. If you were a local or a native here, you'll know that there are multiple orientations. This track is fun in both directions. CW1 is great. Counterclockwise is great. But when anyone talks about lap times at Buttonwillow Raceway Park, they're talking about CW13.
I don't see these times changing this session. How the fuck do these bots get through, bro? $69mega.com. Tired of being alone? We'll help you. Oh my fucking god. You guys probably can't see it in the chat because I just deleted it, but fucking bots, bro. Looks like Group 3's getting ready to go out. I don't know if I'm a fan of the paint match GT3 wing. But I can't tell if he's using the OEM wing. With risers. Or what? I don't know what's going on there.
Looks like we're coming to the lull of this session. Got about 19 minutes in. These sessions are 20 minutes long, so...
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water.
Like out of each driver,
Gotta get rid of this fucking hangover.
Start finish, and then that's going to be the end of this session. That's going to be a checker from our starter right there. Looks like Group 3, Session 1 is getting lined up. This is Group 3, Session 1 being lined up right now. If it's wireless, you can. Has anyone told JD you can walk Bluetooth on certain times?
Let's see here. I think the one that's in this run group that I'm really interested in is this E36 S54 swapped. I don't know. It's got aero. I don't know how legit it is or what, but looks like he's starting towards the front of the run group. I just have some interest in that because I've got some buddies who are big E36 chassis fans, so they're going to be interested in what it does. Look at that, Tesla looks pretty stock too. I wonder if GTA is going to create a class for electric vehicles. That would be something to consider at least. Just because I feel like there's just so much different than a normal combustion engine car. Yeah, I think that's his name. The Russian guy. Russian name, whatever the fuck. Maybe he's Ukrainian. I have no idea. I think he was running a 52 last time I saw from yesterday. I don't know why my latency's so bad. I have it set to be on low latency. Let me see, maybe I can change it to ultra low. One sec, guys. Excellent stream condition. Here we go. Chat live. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not letting me change the latency. Maybe that's a thing within Streamlabs that I gotta change. God damn, bro. Fucking nearly blew out my eardrums.
That right there was the end of Group 2, Session 5. We're about to get into Group 3, Session 5, but I've been lucky enough to get a competitor up here who is leading an entire class. Kevin Burke, how does it feel to be #1 in limited class right now?
Feels pretty amazing, Cuban. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a heck of a lap.
So, for those of you who don't know, Kevin Burke, he is a local enthusiast. He is known to drive NASA. He won an entire NASA championship in the Torco Viper on what everyone would call the slowest tires on the planet. He's really known for going fast in his vet. I would say he became best known early on for his S2000 driving.
Yep.
YouTube, what was that channel? Smoking Tire?
Smoking Tire, yeah.
Smoking Tire did his S2000, called it one of the best street cars to drive. The setup was great.
Yeah.
Just so you know, this is the only time on the planet I'm very nice to Kevin Burke, so he's enjoying every moment of it.
I am. That's why I'm a little quiet. I'm just watching in awe how nice you are to me right now.
If you're talking about Amir's NSX, no, it didn't.
I said that the second session was going to be the session where everyone went the fastest.
Which means they'll debut it at
at
Coda, which is a smart move because that gives them a lot of time to test and tune, get the car dialed in.
It was, but the first lap out, it felt really fast, really great, lots of grip. Across the finish line, I had to pass a gentleman in E90 who had an off Phil Hill, which obviously wasn't optimal.
So for those of you watching on stream, that's why we found an A90 on the paddock here with no rear bumper on it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's still connected. It kind of dragged the rears out, but the diffuser looked fine. He had to have because I believe that's Mr. Robles in the A90 that he went off right here. Was it the silver one?
Yeah, okay, all right. That's different. That was my
okay.
session.
Got it.
Purple Super was in my session. Gary Wong.
He looks fine. Gary Wong looks fine. Yeah, Gary Wong looks fine.
I'm really glad to hear that he's okay. No, it was the blue E90 who went off in front of me on some Michelin slick. So to your question, so I think there's a mixture of the two. Because my first two laps, it was a 49, 48, and I was like, what the heck's going on? Did a cool down lap, another one, 47. Cool down lap, and I was praying that the corner workers weren't going to check and flag me. And then that was the last lap. My rear tires were overheated, but the track felt faster.
So, in the argument that we were having, of course, not argument, our friendly discussion, as Kevin Burke and I would always have, as you could see, the big name teams, minus Professional Awesome, chose to avoid the first session.
Yeah.
Now, like we discussed, they're on slicks. It's a lot harder to get a slicks in. Street tires obviously come in faster, but
Yeah, the second session might be the fastest.
speed wasn't there.
Yeah, so I just didn't have a little confidence after seeing the first 2 lap times, but it built over time. And honestly, the sad thing is, I'm a real data guy for those of you that know me, and my aim actually died on grid before that lap. So I have no data to tell you whether there was more grip or less grip. So luckily I had hot lap running in the corner, so I had some sort of it's nowhere near aim level of sophistication, but I at least knew the lap times, which is huge.
That's great.
I would have come in after the second lap thinking it was fast.
And then you would have looked at it and just been upset with yourself.
I would have been so mad.
Absolutely.
So having that that active feedback is so huge for me as a driver.
What's changed with the car since the freak incident last time? Is it the same car?
You're gonna have to be more specific on the freak accidents.
What's changed with the car since the rotor exploded and put a hole in the floor, and we haven't seen you in our competition since?
No, so we had the rotor explosion, and then we had an old motor, a tired motor, let go the next event. So the car's been, it's a new build, so it just happens. So we built a brand new Rockstar Garage spec 11:1 stock compression ratio F22.
There's that E36.
And then we have the same turbo kit. We dialed it up from 440 wheel to 515.
All right, so that's not a small dial-up.
No, but we're
God damn.
so the dynamics of it aren't great.
Are you still on that
515 horsepower out of that little S2K.
Right? Okay, yeah. For those of you that don't know, the Science of Speed kit is designed to use an Evo 10 style turbo, right? Mm-hmm. So we work with a lot of those where I'm from, and truth be told, the kit is incredible. The response is really good. The power man seems to be great.
It's really good at the 350 to 400 power level. It's amazing.
There are competitors in, I believe, NASA AZ, the yellow S2000 that runs that kit.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Yes, I know Mr. Shepard.
Jim Shepard.
I know him.
Very much. Yep,
I know that family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his kit, he loves it.
Somebody ran a 37.7 just in this first session. So I think it was a GTR, but I could be wrong. There's a Lancer that ran 38.7 as well. So we'll see. I feel like the next session is gonna be where we really find out.
Biggest one you can get.
That's what we have. So that's why the dynamics aren't great too.
But still, it's making 500 plus wheel.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not as responsive as it was when it was making 4 something.
No, not by a long shot. And that's why we haven't turned it up. I think I'll be slower.
What's that 37 though? What did he run?
About the sequential, have you really figured? The last time you competed that I remember, you had no gear indicator. You were still getting used to it. I don't think the blip shift was working either, right?
I still don't have blip shifts. I'm manually.
That Lancer right there, that is the first place in enthusiast, and I think he just went faster, 55.6.
Gear indicator just mounted on the dash, and then everything else is just kind of as manual as it can be.
No, that's great. And honestly, for you guys out there that have never driven a sequential car, saying why do you need a gear indicator? It's really easy to know what gear you're in an H pattern car, but when you're banging up and down, it could be 5th, it could be 6th. It's very important to know what gear you're in.
And when you don't have auto blip or anything like that, sometimes it doesn't go into gear, and you need that gear indicator to tell you you have successfully changed gears. It's really difficult when you're doing everything manually.
Kevin Burke does not know when he's successfully done anything unless someone tells him. So talk about your team really quick. Rockstar Garage, they are a known name in Southern California. They're an S2000 shop. They've obviously expanded like everyone else.
They do a lot of Spec Corvette stuff now because Justin, the owner, actually competes in Spec Corvette.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, they do Spec Corvette, lots of S2000s, and they just kind of have everything dialed in from setup to engines. We're pretty good. You look at my car, we did 7 hot laps.
Oh yeah,
I'm also out here by myself with no crew.
Well, his crew is unattractive. He's also sitting next to me, but truth be told, it's great to see it. And you are not a time attack face. What I mean by that is you are in so many different worlds in the motorsport and other things, obviously. But you've been racing NASA. You've been doing this. I would never say you're a time attack fan or a driver because you absolutely are. But there's those people like. I'll put him on blast, like Amir, right? Amir is known for time attack.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's the car, you're right, 137, 137.7, 138, or sorry, 137.8, and then one other car ran a 38.7, so second off. Dai Yoshihara didn't go out his first session. Is that a few of the big teams didn't go out. I didn't see the that C5Z06 or C6Z06. I didn't see that one go out either. Legit, there was only 4 cars that went out the first session, so they're all waiting for the second session to get more heat in the track. I think that's when we'll really see the big boys come out and set down that flyer.
You've never shied away from showing the failures or the shortcomings of your program. I think that's helped you become a better driver.
I think there's always going to be a better car and a better driver out there. Like, just period. Like, and there's always more time in the car. So my wife always tells me to be more humble, and so I always try and be as humble as I can, and I think showing the failures helps with that.
That's great. So I'm going to ask you, every person I've had up here, I've asked a set of questions just because I like getting the insight of what everyone else feels. I personally, of course, have my own opinions. I'll start with this one. How do you feel about a Tesla Model Plaid with full aero coming out and doing a 43?
Okay, so I'm not a particularly Tesla fan, just because I like just rawness of motorsports. I feel like it's missing. That being said, I love what Unplugged Performance is doing, and Craig is a heck of a...
I haven't seen the Red Viper on track at all weekend, so they weren't first session. There was only, like I said, 4 cars this first session. Was Evo, Kevin, his competition in second place, and then another unlimited car, the E90.
Off track right now. Now, it's hard to tell, but it looks like he's missing a front bumper.
Definitely is missing a front bumper.
That's in the Riverside. See, Kevin, now you know my struggle.
I got it.
When you're watching from a drone, it is actually hard.
There's no flag worker on that station either.
Now, what's rough is because of where he is, this is a complete broken lap for everybody else. You know as well as I do, this right turn, something bad could happen very quickly, and he's in a dangerous predicament.
Right out
Absolutely. Now, we did see where he went off. He probably had a quick lockup. It does look like his front bumper is still on it. We're not sure if it's something as bad as a catastrophic or something as simple as he locked it up and stalled it. And he's trying to get
I thought that car was going to be like extremely fucking fast, because I've seen that in pictures before on GTA.
And that's the hardest part as a competitor, right? We talk about this a lot. I see you do it. All of our competitors do it. You try to find the best place to let someone pass you so you don't hurt their lap.
I call it like active passing. Like you see them across the track, and you go, okay, I'm going to make sure he can get by in a good spot. Oh, and we got a hot toe out there, it looks like.
Yeah, so it does look like he probably has a catastrophic. And huge shout out to our corner workers. Obviously, we want to make sure all these competitors are safe. This does obviously hurt the people who are on track right now, but safety is paramount.
Of course.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So let's go back to this. I've had Mike McGinnis in here, who is a tuner. I've had Mike Lewin, who's an engineer, basically an aerodynamicist. And everyone has their own opinion. Like Mike McGinnis said, he was very politically correct when I asked, which is like, I think it's badass. Yes, you can't hear the engine. You can hear it. You can't hear the engine, but you can hear the aerodynamics working. You can hear the tire working. And we're still in the infancy right now of electric cars. That's what Mike Lewin talked about. He's like,
Yeah, street class at a 54. Yeah,
was the Model 8
he's probably sitting around 6th, 7th, 8th.
time to get there. And I have not made my opinion stated yet, but I will say it. I am like you. I'm not a fan yet of electric cars because when you drive them, there's
emotion. It's lack of emotion.
You call it emotion, but I call it a visceral feeling of speed. When you're in a car and you're ripping through gears, the visceral feeling is there. You're hearing it and you're feeling it. When you're in a Plaid and you hit the gas, you're just doing 100 and you didn't know what happened.
Yeah. So what my point was, I'm bummed because they're out here doing a 43, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with most ICE cars, internal combustion engine cars, there's always that really high ceiling for more power and more performance.
Correct.
Like they took all the weight out that they can.
Yep.
And look at the aero on that thing.
It's
like
Andrew
they did
Brilliant
everything.
design, by the way. If you didn't know, that's an Andrew Brilliant aero.
Like it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like what else is there to do? And the sad thing is like they're not podiuming for unlimited. And like what do you do from here? And that's where like an internal combustion engine car, the sky's the limit. And I think that's what excites us.
That's probably why they should create its own class for electric cars.
You know what? I respect that point. That's a very good insight. You didn't give the internet no vroom vroom noise, piece of crap car. You know, that's what a lot of people saying. No one takes those people seriously. I'm sorry. If you're the guy on the internet that says it doesn't make noise, it's a piece of crap, no one cares.
Yeah,
There's a lot of positive and negatives about every kind of car. And you say like they're not podium. We bring up tried and true chassis versus new chassis. The First year of the A90 Supra, remember 80% of them couldn't run a lap. They'd all change batteries, electronics didn't work. Jackie Ding, who is now the known Supra person, PhD Racing is where you go if you have a question about Supras. He had to go through 2 years of teething before he was able to be really fast in that car. So I feel like they're going through that. Obviously, Tesla's owned by Elon Musk. He makes it a point that the cars are not unlockable. But let's just say another electric car comes out or someone learns to hack the firmware of a Tesla. Who's to say they can't make much more power?
That's fair.
That electric Cayman. Could you imagine that Cayman chassis with the crazy battery? That shit is going to be a ripper.
Hundreds of hours of R&D for someone to learn how to unlock that ECU for HP tuners to make it tunable. You know, so we're used to the internal combustion engine being very simple to work on and tune, but truth be told, we don't see the background and all the work that went into getting it there in the first place, you know?
That's a very fair point. That's a very fair point. I just don't really want to see 1,500 horsepower plaids, because then I feel like all of our cars might be obsolete.
You know what? Yes and no, though, because that's where classing comes in, and you'll never compete in unlimited, you know? So
might. I don't know if I'd say that.
So question number 2. You may be biased on this question because you owned one. Time attack is an import sport. A lot of people see. If you're a purist, right? You're a purist. It's a
old school time attack.
Old school. You nailed it. But this is a lot of people still talk about it the same way. How do you feel about a Porsche GT3 or a Corvette Z06 coming out here off the rip and immediately being very competitive?
So coming from someone who had the C7 Grand Sport with very relative little things done to it, stock suspension, some power.
Only 500 horsepower. I mean, that's nothing. No, seriously, that's nothing in a vet.
Honestly.
That's nothing in a vet. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so I love that it's more approachable to people that maybe aren't being supported by shops. Because for me, for someone to build a car like a Vrsf car by themselves just doesn't, it's almost impossible. It is possible and people have done it.
Alright, so first place in Unlimited, 137.8.
Built that car, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And I think that being able
Limited
to go fast is cool, but I also
is in the 46.9s now. Kevin Burke, who's talking right now, he's leading it.
So you really agree with the grid life mindset of making
And Street Class is at a 48.6, I think, 48.3.
They built a class specifically for those people, and there's the pros and cons. Like you said, it's just adding another class. Now, Global Time Attack has not gone down that path, but I don't necessarily disagree with you. It's just, like you said, we feel that Global Time Attack as a whole has always felt like you're going to build a car for a rule set. If a chassis is hard to fit in a rule set, that was your choice to run that chassis.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
But truth be told, like you said, it makes it attainable. Corvette Z06, Clayton Yates, never been here before, and he's had no issue whatsoever going fast.
Yeah,
What do you think
and
about
SF90 as well. Just saw a video on an SF90 yesterday, gapping the shit out the new 992 Turbo, which is just as fast as a 675, or sorry, a 765 LT.
Speed of some of these tuner cars, but I don't know if they'll ever get there. Like, look at the G80 that's from Attack. Will Dries is driving it, and we all know he can wheel.
Absolutely.
And the car's not doing well because I feel like they've overcomplicated it.
Well, the paddle shift module is not working now. I'm not sure if you talked to him yet.
Paddle shift isn't working.
It's stuck in automatic.
It's also stuck in drift mode.
Well, Will would appreciate that. You know what I mean?
He would, but coming out of truck stop or off ramp rather,
he says
can't
he
put
can't
any
even
power
put
down
any power down until he's
because
completely straight.
It's a lock diff currently, and he cannot change it because they swapped the wheel out. So there's a lot of things that the complexity is good stock, but once you start trying to get to like a mid-40s car, it gets more difficult, and the simple is better.
So this is the teething thing I'm talking about, right? New cars teething. Now, you know who made a really good point? Mike Lewin. He's like, obviously, it's a big purchase, a C7 Corvette, a C8 Corvette. That's big power energy over here. You know what I mean? If you didn't know, my director, who is a great, the Rev team here is great. The second you mention Corvettes, he starts to get a chub because he went from a C7 to a C8. He's now a C8 Andy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, look, Kevin, who's the driver.
I'm not a big fan of the C8.
So to be fair, I'll find you those videos of Kevin Burke driving a C8, send them to you so you know never to follow his car on track again. You've ruined your chance at Global Time Attack. Looks like the yellow S2000 will never be followed around the track again.
No. To be fair, I think the C8 just needs a lot of. It's just too in its infancy, like you said, new car teething.
It's too new.
Once it gets everything dialed, I think it'll be great. And I'm also not a fan of brake-by-wire.
So let's talk about 10 or 15 years from now, where the C7 becomes easily attainable like the C6. who's to say the car, you get what I'm saying? We're all talking about, you drive a chassis from the early 2000s right now. It's 2022. Look at all the years of development that a shop like Rockstar Garage has had to put into it. Now imagine what a C7 Grand Sport Z06, ZR1 would be able to do with that many years.
Clean looking F80.
I think we're going to see Time Attack as a whole continuously change in that direction.
So the E36 still running a 52.
Is right on the precipice of being too complicated.
You know, I don't think you're wrong.
Never be as light as a C60 ever.
No, truth be told, you're right, but its chassis rigidity dominates. It's an extrusion molded aluminum chassis. The C6Z is still an old school unibody on top of 2 aluminum frames, where the C6 base is steel framed. But it's still a unibody on top, where the C7 is an extrusion molded chassis.
It's very different.
And the cool thing is they did it to all of them, right?
The Super just ran a 50.3, knocked off another second. It's pretty solid.
That's why I think the base might actually be better, because it can be lighter.
Oh no, I agree 100%. And then on top of that, you just have the complication that you mentioned is true though. You're talking about a car with 1 too many computers, 7 too many computers. You know what I mean?
Well, like the mag ride talks to the e-diff. You delete one, you have to delete the other.
100%.
And then it becomes not as good because you're building a heavier C6.
Nailed it. You literally nailed it. A heavier C6 that made corner skosh better, but weight is not what we're looking at. So, no, that's great. So, you've been at the event for a day. Obviously, we haven't seen you since last year. I try to avoid you on the internet, so I definitely haven't seen you since last year.
Group 4 getting ready to go out.
What stories going on here that you see in the paddock that a lot of the fans don't are really opening your eyes right now? How do you feel about GTA Finals 2022 as a whole going early into day 2?
So I think the Pro Awesome guys is definitely up there. Like tuning the car last night and figuring out
Pulls down Lerdo, absolutely.
I wasn't going to say that, but the tune name was Pulls on Lerdo Highway. And just finding that extra power and figuring it out and flying Tomo out here, who's an awesome guy, getting him to wheel the car. I love seeing that. Of course, I'm good with the Caliber Customs guys. Sean, Matt, and Mikey, and like those guys have their own, all their strategies of the talk. And I looked at his data, and their journey's really interesting too. He PB'd yesterday.
We have a big lockup in a turn 1. Big lockup. I didn't see what car it was. I don't know if he's in the dirt or if he made the corner.
He's in the dirt.
Oh, that shit blew up, bro.
Do we know what car that is? Is that?
I think that's a fire, actually. That's a white S2000. Do we have?
Oh no, is it Nick?
Damn. Damn. That shit blew up.
That does look like that looks like Nick Steniford. Obviously, anyone watching, rule number 1 is you never get out of Takara on a hot track unless your car is on fire.
And he did do a 54. I will say that.
Let's see if we can get a drone over there just to make sure he's good and the car's good, and then we'll check out. Look at this. This is Button Willow Fire and Safety. You've been racing here forever. You live relatively closer than I did when I was in SoCal. So you love this track. I would actually not to. We always call it Mirror a Button Willow specialist, right? And he'll admit it too. It's what he
Damn, my
knows.
boys.
I would not want to call you a specialist.
R.I.P.
But you are definitely one of the people who understands this track.
Well, I wrote a guide on it, so that helps.
Dude, the amount of times people have linked that to me, I'm just like, stop, bro. And you're not an influencer, are you sure?
Influence people to go faster.
So there we go. It does look, by the way, it looks like Kevin Burke's great. If you can't tell in this photo, he has a tuxedo race suit.
Nick's so awesome.
I love Nick, man.
Nick and Savannah, they're both amazing.
They're great. And Nick actually got the only Spirit of Time Attack award we've ever given out. He followed us an entire season, did all the grid lives. This man embodies motorsports to us, and
100%.
we love it.
He is such a nice guy. I actually went to his home track, PPIR, 2 months ago.
So, but yeah, for the time being, just so anyone watching knows, you've been in these situations. Red flag. What does red flag mean? Does that mean come into the pits? What does it mean?
So that stop within view of a corner worker, so they can tell you what to do. And they actually have a safety flag, yellow flag, and red flag out right now.
That's a big one. So we have
trifecta.
safety where you have
Trifecta flags.
We have safety workers on track. We have a car on fire, so we want to make sure everyone knows that. And like you said, red flag literally means stop next to a corner worker.
Damn.
Enough, I don't think
Here we go. Fucking delayed. What time is it? 2:11. Oh, man. I wanted to see Group 1 and 2 come by again before the F1 race because I'm gonna go watch that shit.
You smell it and you go, oh no, and he pulled over in a safe spot really fast and got out of the car. So he handled it beautifully, and like I said, I'm glad he's okay, and I'm glad the car seemingly from this angle looks okay.
Absolutely. Obviously, anyone that's been through a car fire, Sean Cagle, will tell you that or sorry, Kujel. He's not allowed to have a real last name until he breaks into the 30s. We had this conversation last night.
He's coming up here.
I know he is. He's like, Kaggle I can handle. Kujel? I'm like, yes, sir. You know, maybe if you did your hair properly. Everyone that's been up here has great hair. You know, Sean Kaggle just wears hats. Seemingly, it was out quickly, but the weird part was it almost looked like it was coming out of the exhaust too, but it could have been just from his speed coming off track and tracking underneath the car.
It's possible. It's very possible. His car is K24 swapped, so when you swap engines in time attack cars, and his car, in his case, wheel-to-wheel cars, it complicates things. So it could be, hopefully, it's just an oil line or something that came loose and hit something, and
he's famous for oil too. He laid oil all the way down Coda from 16 corners, if I'm not mistaken. So he's no stranger to oil. Let me tell you that.
But I will say he's the kind of guy that will fix that car and have it back up and running in an hour.
If it's something he can fix in the paddock, it will absolutely be fixed, and it'll be out for the next session. That's the cool part about him. Savannah and him do a great job traveling around, just being ambassadors to the motorsport world. Obviously, Savannah Racing, not Spec Miata, Miata Cup. Savannah was testing the car yesterday. She was going to try to run exhibition today. I'm not sure if it was running properly.
Okay.
They rushed to get it together for SEMA. You know, they never expected to compete here in it, so we wouldn't expect it to be at the caliber.
Oh man.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's all that matters. So it does look like the starter is giving the black flag to let people
bringing
know.
everybody in.
Exactly. This BMW on the front straight was actually stopped as soon as he could see the main flag man. He stopped. He made sure he was safe. Funny enough, the last time we had a red flag here, it was actually you stopping directly on the scoring line and running the fastest lap of the event of a 2:59.336.
What's up with this fucking fire hose, bro?
And I could have sworn that was the fastest lap in the world, but it probably wasn't.
Man. No, that's great. So, you know, overall, I know we're talking about Pro A. You bring up things like evasive. You know,
I wonder if he money shifted trying to do a downshift, because you saw the white smoke come out probably right when the braking zone would have been starting for him.
A small team and a small shop. Given they have Dai Yoshihara, look, we're not going to sit here and lie, but Dai is a shoe, but these guys choose to do it because they love it. Because Mike Warfield in the GST, if you ever seen GST, it was a small shop, very small, tiny. But because Jeff Westphal drove it, everyone thought it was the biggest team in the world. These are teams that just have made relationships with people who love it, and Dai is just a driver. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure anyone listening knows we're not talking about multi-million-dollar businesses here, or race programs. Businesses probably, but not multi-million-dollar race programs.
Correct, yeah.
And then the point I want to make, I kept talking about your resume and your history. We hit so many people. It's so cool to see tire warmers, by the way. These guys are making sure. I tried to get Cole up here, by the way, a little earlier, and Cole just said no. For him to not say no, that means he's nervous right now.
Or busy.
Well, no, the car was pretty ready, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure we could all say
well,
little
as
things
a
that had to be
driver,
done.
like, you need to look at data, you need to review the
Cole's
car.
the kind of
there's
guy,
so
though, that would
stuff.
jump to a tower at any chance he gets, just so you know. So you could tell when they saw Pro A go out there and run a 38 in the early session.
Oh, it's on now.
Oh, absolutely. He never thought that his win here was guaranteed, but I don't think he thought...
None of us do. Anything can happen.
I don't think he thought that, you know, they were going to go out first session and be within half a second of him either.
Yeah. That is one thing about this event that I love, is that really is anybody's game. Because it's not only a time, it's reliability. Anything can happen out there. You know, like, you could have a small car fire randomly and be done, and you could have had a shoe in. It's just it's anybody's game. Even now, with me in the lead by only... What, 4/10? I think I'm ahead of Gary.
Well, I think you're actually more than that now. You were a tenth up. I think you're about half a second up. So
still not enough for me to feel comfortable.
It's not enough here. Definitely not here. Well, and the thing is, though I'm a local boy at heart,
I wonder if we're gonna tow this shit off anytime soon.
I want to see Pro A take the win. Hey guys, let me bias for 5 minutes.
Man, this Brazilian Grand Prix is gonna be fucking great, man.
And
the OGs,
they have had nothing but bad events here. There are certain drivers.
Nothing but sun.
Bad luck at Buttonwillow in certain cars. Pro A has never had a good event here in their Evo.
Are they getting out the flatbed for this car?
Tom's car, the car shut off with Tom. Jam surpassed them the next lap, the final lap of the event. Wow. That's heartbreaking. You know what I mean?
Speaking of, are we flipping the sessions at the end of the day today?
You know what?
No?
It looks like we are after lunch.
Okay, so
at lunch,
we will have
4,
that
3, 2,
final
1.
battle.
Always.
Because that is famous.
Well, and
I'll be back for the final battle.
Yes, 100%.
And
while they're fixing this up and they're trying to clean this up, I would love for you to tell the fans a little bit more about yourself, what you do, what your love for motorsports, and then I'll kick you the
I'll
heck
be
out of my
back
tower.
for
Get
the
some good.
last run group,
Well, but
group 2 and group 1, and then the final battle
I love the constant pursuit of perfection. I love the constant pursuit of
when I go on break
building
here.
things that can go
Not
fast.
soon, but
And I don't know, it's just something about this. I've only been doing this since 2017, so I'm actually pretty new in the community in general. But I just fell in love with it right away and went really all in. So
That's great. No, I mean that's like
I like how well spoken Kevin is, because I know I'm not well spoken at all.
I apologize. Content creators out there, they just kind of pop out of nowhere. But it's good to see you out there.
good to see you too.
Truth be told, is the setup going to stay the same, or do you really see a bigger future for the car?
Okay, so I see a bigger future for the car. So we're in the pursuit. We want to compete with Evasive. We want to compete with the other shops because that is what we want. So seeing them come out here and do a 41 is inspiring because it gives us a higher goal to hit.
I think he could definitely run a 45, 44 on 100 treadwear tire.
The car long term. As far as setting up changes today, because we did my goal was a 46 this whole weekend.
You nailed it.
Because we did that, now I'm going to start turning knobs and being a little more brave, aggressive at changes. I was afraid of that at first because the car's good but not great, and now we're going to try and make it great just by turning some knobs and making some changes. So hopefully the car will be faster. And
Yeah, they changed
That's great. So
the cameras way too much. I haven't seen him all day follow one car on a hot lap yet.
Oh, sorry, he's right. Underscore CSCHMEVIN. He likes to wear a schmedium also.
It's true, but I mean they got drone coverage. You figure they'd be following at least at times one car on a hot lap. Oh, that shit dropped oil on the main straight right there by the brake zone. It looks like he money shifted.
Yeah. No, but I'm going to try and go out every session.
Thanks for being out here.
So,
I
thanks for
will
having me on.
try to make my producer follow you now that you've trash talked the Corvette. It's a pretty good chance that you're no longer
I just said I like the C7 better. That's all I'm
he
saying.
sold the 7 for an 8, dude. You can't look at the guy and say that it's
This
garbage.
fool is back already. What the fuck? I thought I banned him.
I will catch you during lunch, and then hopefully you get a little bit.
Here, I'm gonna show you guys
All right. See
the
you.
comment going on here.
Kevin Burke. You can take a look at today's schedule. For those of you that
69mega.com new AI 84% will find a girl for you.
We are still a little bit
Oh
in a
my
lull right now. We're
god.
cleaning up the track. Anyone that's ever been in a
I'm gonna
track
add him as a moderator.
they have to clean it up, get all the oil dry on, take care of all that. So we're gonna take a quick couple-minute break here, wait for these guys to get it all cleaned up, and then I'll be back with another
Jesus
super
Christ,
popular
bro.
name in Southern California Time Attack. Honestly, across the United States. We're blessed that here at Global Time Attack, we have competitors that are known across the board, be it with one chassis, with teams, with driver development, with cars. So the best thing for us is to make sure you guys can hear from them and not just have to listen to me all day, because God knows that gets old.
No totem. Fuck, man. Alright, they're getting this shit loaded up. Hopefully going green soon. Dude, I really wanted to watch this F1 track. My favorite track in SoCal. It's tough. It's tough. I like them all, but honestly, when you think about it, damn. I don't think I have one, honestly. I think they all complement each other. I've talked about this to my friends. It's like one track will help you be faster at the next, which I think it's important to hit all the tracks. That way you become well-rounded at every single track. And in turn, I think that'll make you a better driver, a lot faster than somebody that only goes to one track. And I've seen it before where guys only hit CW13. That's all they do. CW13. They want to just like become fast at this track. And then they go to another track and they're absolute shit. So for that reason, I don't think I have a favorite track. I have favorite parts of each track, I'd say. Like for instance, CW13, I love going through Cotton's Corners. I feel like that part, you can make up so much time as long as you're carrying speed. 84 ACS, for example. They get ready to shut that one down. But that one really taught me to just send it, to just have big balls. Honestly, that track alone, um, going through the NASCAR turn, entering at 100 in the F80, 180 miles an hour entering, and then just turning in no brakes and just coasting until you get to a speed that feels comfortable for the car. You don't get that anywhere else, unless it's another Roval track. Uh, then you got Chuckwalla, and Chuckwalla has some very fast flat sweepers, right? So teaches you how to play with the throttle, right? Because sometimes you need to get the car to turn in more, or you need it to drift back out, So you're sitting there hitting the throttle or off, and it's just a whole game of kind of just teeter-tottering through those fast sweepers. Streets of Willow is a very technical track, so it really requires a lot of patience, being very smooth with the wheel. And then Big Willow, I mean, turn 8 and 9 to Big Willow, I learned to become pretty quick on that by my experience at ACS. Using the bowl turn at ACS and just having that mentality that I just need to fucking send it in and just commit helps you for turn 8 and 9 at Big Willow. Pretty much every turn at Big Willow, because every turn is fast up until the Omega section.
He's been all over the place with the car. It's super fast. Last couple of years, Will Drees has been driving it. You don't have the car.
And I think that's pretty much all the SoCal tracks, right? I don't think I'm missing any. ACS, Button Willow, Chuck, Willow Springs, Big Willow, and Streets.
There's some improvements in the car, some safety stuff, some cooling stuff, power stuff, drivetrain stuff. We took the year off, 2022, to get, just to get the car right. We really want to show really strong Coda this year, coming up.
You guys have been limited class the past few years. Right now, are you guys making a jump to unlimited, or are you going to
Thermal? I've never been. I've been offered to go to thermal, but it's always like, yeah, come out to thermal, but it's like $2,000. It's like, fuck. I don't want to pay $2,000 for thermal, to be honest with you. I'd rather pay $2,000 to go to a limited sound day at Laguna Seca, or Sonoma doesn't have unlimited sound days, but that whole experience of going up to NorCal and hitting a track like that and the whole weekend being $2,000 seems like a better experience than going to thermal and spending $2,000.
No, we're gonna keep it front-wheel drive. I think honestly that car, it's faster front-wheel drive. I mean, we don't want to add all the extra weight. I mean, the car is ridiculously fast in data. There's so much potential in this car, untapped potential. But I think, it's like time attack cars, you just keep wanting more, and there's a lot more to give. So that's what we're doing right now. It's actually going to Riley Motorsports to do a lot of fab work.
Yeah.
We're chopping
but at the same time, I mean, the guys that are going to thermal have big money. They're bringing out race cars. Thermal hosts races in the off season for these teams too, so it's like they're bringing in their money. They're renting out those properties.
So we had some last year, as you guys know, if you're following us last year, we blew up pretty good last session. So
I think this is the Life Motorsport guys.
Oil issues, so we're hopefully solving that with the dry sump. But a lot of testing is gonna, it's
where can people out there that aren't already following you, where can they find you online at and follow the build? Because it sounds like you guys are just jumping into making these changes. Probably going to spend the next few months doing that. If you're getting ready for the March event, you really only got about 90 something, 100 days or so, something like that. So crash time's coming up. Where can they find you guys?
We're gonna be. You can look us up IG mainly. Not much Facebook stuff action for me. I put a lot of my stuff on IG.
Yeah.
That's WRD Racing.
Yeah, all those garages and the houses.
You should see us, the red
It's a pretty cool concept. I just feel like that exclusivity makes it very limited. Nobody's hosting track days there. Like none of the, public hosts, I guess.
That's maybe new.
We're working right now. We're trying to get something with Garrett. We love their products. We want to. We think we'd be a good fit for Garrett with the new turbo stuff they got going on. We're kind of on the older stuff, so we most definitely need to upgrade. and that's the plan. Upgrade, update. You know, if we don't, then we're gonna be, you know, second, third place. Not good enough. So
No, never good enough.
yeah.
And the thing is don't get it twisted. Once he thinks he's done with the car, he rolls it out in March. Let's say they do real well. It's never done, right? It's never done.
Oh, it's not done. The list that we have, it'll still be missing like 2 major
Yeah, us
components.
peasants.
That
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know, obviously it's an expensive sport, so we gotta do things.
Guys over here charging crazy,
But yeah, I mean, we're still
crazy
building the
prices for track
box in that
days.
car. We're still on an H pattern. You know, no straight cut gears yet. You know, there's a lot of negativity there in that transmission. So, and the electronics are, you know, from probably just as old as the car is. So, you know, we need to update that stuff too, which will be down the road. You know, probably at the end of 2023, 2024.
Awesome.
To get full potential out of this thing. You know, that's what we can do. You know, but yeah.
Looks like group
Looks like the guys got back out on track.
4 went back out.
Was shorter than I thought. That's a testament
Thank God.
to, the track crew
Thank
here,
God.
our crew,
Last time I was there a few years
and,
ago,
cleanup crew, of course,
almost every house was unsold.
they allow
Oh, damn.
They're really aggressive on getting people
I
on
mean,
track.
I think the houses there are
Big
like
ups to everybody here at the
pretty-
track at Button Willow and our staff.
pretty damn expensive. From what I heard was like anywhere from $600 to $1 million.
If you don't recognize him, you should know the
600,000 to $1 million.
All
All right, F1 race in 30 minutes. I'm gonna hop off for that. I'm gonna go watch that with my girl, and then, like I said, I'll be back for the last sessions, and then to watch that battle.
All right.
Yeah, they look pretty dope. I seen the pictures of them. They look
Like
really
I
nice.
said, reiterate, the track did do an amazing job cleaning up. That's one thing about Button Willow. Obviously, you look from outside looking in. This is a track in the middle of cow country in Button Willow, Bakersfield, California. But these people really take this track seriously. There's a reason that we come here every year. And SoCal, this is really a pinnacle track to try and set lap times. I have someone in here who's actually spent a long time not just setting lap times, but competing in Global Time Attack. And one of the very few true privateers to ever win GTA Finals back when it was called Super Lab Battle. Mark Yeager, how is it out here today?
I have to say this weather is probably more perfect than it's been in years. Obviously, no fog to start the day. The weather as itself has stayed relatively calm. There's been no wind to really fight through. So these high-demand aero cars really like the fact that the wind is staying calm. So I'd have to say this is probably one of the more perfect years to go out and really set some seriously quality lap times.
Kind of sucks for that M4. I really wanted to see what the Art of Attack M4 did.
That is one of the hardest questions. I absolutely miss it. There's nothing that I will.
If that shows up to Coda next year, that'll be a competitor for us in the limited class. So as long as they get everything sorted.
A huge lover of aerodynamics. Big shout out to
Somebody went off already again?
By the way, now works at
Oh, no.
F1.
Oh, for
So,
real? That's
yeah.
fantastic.
So he went on from the Subaru.
They're just knocking off all the
Racing
cat
Subaru
litter on the track.
to Williams F1, if you can believe that or not.
Well, I can. Their results are very similar. Just kidding.
That was fucking savage, bro.
That's great. Honestly, you know,
That was
we know
fucking
what
savage.
you and the car were capable of. To say that a privateer, and guys, what I mean by privateer is there was no shop that was backing you. You paid Yimmy Sport for the work. You know what I
This
mean?
car got like the craziest fucking aero body on it.
There is a small list of true privateers that have won this event, and you're one of them. But like I was talking about with Michael when you were in here, when Kevin Burke was in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back in the U.S. for Coda,
Like, I feel so bad for
and
coming all the way from where they
gonna
come
be
and never
competing
having a
using
solid
Jason's
year.
Black
Come
RS.
that far, and every
Jason's
year
gonna be using his LMP,
I've
so
seen you leave the
he'll be
event
in
on
Pro Comp,
Sunday,
and then I'll be in
go put
Limited,
the motor in,
and
come back on Sunday, and
we'll
have
see how shit
another
goes.
problem.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's part of the game.
We got some plans for his car too,
Kevin Burke
just
said,
to make it a little lighter.
is his car's reliable.
These cars that we're gonna be going up against, I mean,
Realm of thinking about
let's
time attack cars as
let's just
they're
say
also
if we get the
supposed
same
to
field as last year,
we're supposed to make these cars
you got the 720, and that car was stupid fast down the straights. Now my optimal lap time in the GT3 was 15.8, and my aero was completely fucked. That wing on the back of the car really made my car understeer a lot. I'm honestly thinking I could have been faster without that wing, so I just didn't have time to test. So with Jason's car, It's pretty settled and dialed in.
Very long time.
And
Subaru was just an HPDE car, running
I'm pretty sure we'll be competing with that 720, despite having the lack of top speed that car's hitting. That car was hitting, I think, 180 down the back straight. In my GT3, I was touching 158 top speed, so a whole 20 miles an hour faster. Jason's car, we're getting it tuned. We put my race headers on the car, so it'll benefit from those cup car headers, and make some more power that way. And then other things we want to do is start taking some of the shit out that doesn't need to be in it for the time attack. So we'll take out the passenger seat. We'll go to a lightweight battery because, believe it or not, the lightweight battery in the GT3 is about 39 pounds. And there's ones that you can buy probably around 800 bucks. They only weigh about 9 to 10 pounds. So we'll see. So, just a couple things here and there to help out with weight. I think it'll really help. Yeah, I saw the 765 time. It was on slicks. It was on Pirelli slicks, you could tell, just looking at the sidewalls. But still, I think it ran a 41 or a 42, right? So even on street tires, he should have been around, like, let's say a 45. He'd be winning in limited and lower. Not a street car. It would definitely be in limited.
How do you end up on the outside over here? Usually when you clip this inside curve, you end up on the inside. What would have put you on the outside of the S?
I'm thinking
Coda's going to be sick,
he was already getting out of shape.
and I hope you're going to be there with us. I'm sure you are, but
the other berm and it shot him off that other side.
it'll be pretty epic.
Giving him the opportunity to get a little loosey-goosey on the throttle.
It's kind of weird this car's not moving.
Or he could just got a little excited and let off.
Yeah, 42. Yeah, I don't think that it would have been. I don't think it would have been slower than a 46 with street tires. It's running slicks.
Agreed.
I'm not the driver, and the people that go on the internet and go, "Car don't make noise." It's not a reason to not enjoy a car. And I'm sure you heard the description I gave, but was the Model A really that good when it came out? No, the T got better, and then it got better. We got to the Deuce Coupes. We got to the muscle car era. Then we got
Casey and his boys.
It takes time.
Casey's a fast driver too, man. That guy's insane behind the wheel.
You're proof to the pudding of you chose a tried and true chassis. Truth be told, you bought the car new, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
But you stuck with it. You weren't buying new chassis as they came out. You kept pushing the boundaries of what you had.
Got the race in 30 minutes.
There's the Jackie Deans of the world who wanted to push
About to be crazy fireworks around my neighborhood right now. Brazilians love fucking fireworks, dude. Like most of the day, there's fireworks for everything. If a for instance, let's say minor league baseball in the U.S. Minor league baseball in the U.S. No one gives a shit about that, right? Nobody cares. Even like the Little League World Series, it's pretty big, but really, the general population doesn't give a shit. Here, soccer obviously is a way of life, and for the Brazilian A League, it's crazy. It's fucking wild. But then they have like leagues for kids under 20 and then kids under 16. And when those championships go down, they're on TV, live stream broadcasted, like any other major race. And crazy ass fireworks for that shit too. Yesterday, the team that we root for won the sub 20 championship, sub 20 years old, and fireworks galore. So for the F1 Grand Prix, it's about to be crazy too. And even if you watch the race, I remember watching last year and being shocked that there was fireworks going on within the grandstands. People brought in fireworks and were just letting this shit off. Like, there's one thing to have the smoke bombs. We've seen the smoke bombs at other events. But these guys had full-on fireworks, just letting them off. Wild-ass people. It's a lawless nation.
No matter how we feel about it, we're not going to sit here and say electric cars aren't allowed. Though there are things that we have to take into account. Okay, we have to make sure that track safety is.
And then Ocon and Fernando Alonso, that was a little crazy yesterday.
Oh, actually, I didn't.
I'm not really a fan of Fernando Alonso, but he did have a good point. He wasn't really given too much space
The experience there is completely different.
at one point
As you're alluding to, it's the concept
and
of
hit
you have
Ocon's
to make sure
side
the
pod.
track is ready for that experience,
They're
because
talking to
otherwise we're gonna
team
have a
manager
fire
right now.
and we're gonna burn one of those things.
Otmar.
And it's even more dangerous. Like, what if someone's trapped in the car and you can't even?
Damn, and they're starting right next to each other. Fernando Alonso starting 17th and Ocon starting 16th. Esteban Ocon, when that race started, that fool went straight to the back.
Why you need this and unlimited? It's at the end of the day, we don't
Who's
want any
this?
driver or team to lose somebody in an event. I don't care how fast we're trying to go.
TNA Tempa. I have no idea who this is. This is a rapper. Never heard of him though.
Inch and a quarter tubing, 4 points in the whole
So
car.
I went through and I obviously examined that the pinnacle of time attack WRX from back in the day, right? And you actually looked at their bolt-in cage.
Cusco, probably.
Cusco, that's what I'm talking about. You looked at that Cusco quote-unquote cage and you kind of got scared for yourself. Like, these guys were going wicked fast back in the day on really not good tires.
No, and the technology of even tires, brakes, suspension as a whole, you get a car with hundreds less horsepower that goes faster because of that technology. You're right, they're literally doing this on a cage that would top road.
Yeah, they're already starting the fireworks.
Impact, you know what I mean? So, no, I agree 100%. So I'm going to ask the second question that I've been asking everybody. How do you feel about things like Corvettes, newer era Corvettes, Porsches, these cars that are very easy for someone to get in entry? Obviously, it's a pocketbook car, but let's be real. You and I both know building a time attack car is tenfold over buying a C7's Grand Sport, okay?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about people getting into these cars and already running competitive lap times with factory aero and all that? Do you think that's a positive or a negative?
Well, to me, it's a double-edged sword. So for the guy who wants to go buy that 98 Honda Civic and come out here and have a good time, so it's a negative to him because he looks at those lap times and goes, that's unobtainium to me. I'm going to have to spend $100,000 to get there. But as you just alluded to, so let's look at, pound for pound, cost per second. Like, what are we talking about?
Sounds like the fucking military's in a war right now with somebody.
So a C7 Grand Sport, $70,000 brand new. If I put $70,000 into a 98 Civic, it would crush that Grand Sport out.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's what people have to really understand. Now, I will say this. Is it much easier to go buy a $70,000 Grand Sport than it is to spend $70,000 on your Civic?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Bank
right?
support you for
Bank
that.
support, right? That. So I do see the issue where people come up and say, like, this is killing, I hear this all the time. It's killing the sport because we're allowing these V8s or these muscle cars or these blah, blah, blahs to compete in the sport.
To cut you off, we'll go back to this. Do you remember original rules, how we didn't allow push rods?
No push rod V8s.
So that's the point, right? We all had that OG mentality, but it's the same reason why we allow slicks. This is U.S. time attack, okay? The pinnacle of time attack in the world is World Time Attack. You and I are both going to agree on that. That's a fact, right?
Absolutely.
They're the pinnacle of time attack. They have the craziest builds. That's what people travel the world to go to, and we are so blessed that Texas is slowly becoming that. I know you've been there. I know you.
I haven't been there. Don't say that.
Okay, I know you
want
to be there. I thought you were there to at least view one time.
I went. I was about to, but due to life circumstances, I ended up not being able to.
That's probably his wife didn't let him go.
Leading to divorce.
But truth be told, like it's becoming that, and the hype there is incredible. The feeling, I totally understand how Ian Baker built this from nothing and why he put his heart into it. Because people talk about, it's roll this, but they don't remember when it was this small little thing that no one went to. You and I do because we're time attack fans. So just seeing that grow from the ground up is a real crazy feeling, and I really love seeing that, but their rules are not like ours. They're still on a treaded tire. We're talking cars making thousands of pounds of downforce, 1,500 horsepower, still on a treaded tire.
And it's a huge controversial topic. Every year this happens, we start seeing D-lambs and things happen. People start bringing this concept up of when are they going to allow the slick to be used.
And then, of course, Ian hits back hard. He's like, I have my Yokohama engineers. A lot of the D-lambs are on lap 2 or 3 when they shouldn't have made lap 2 or 3. It's the same concept of like an F1 tire de-landing on lap 47 when Pirelli said it only lasts 33.
Exactly.
It's the team's decision to push it that far.
The envelope that's
100%. So
Yeah, but these fools are over here talking about tires that cost fucking $2,000. only lasting one hot lap, bro. Nobody wants to do that shit. So I don't like the AO52 on a heavier car. On a lighter car, they work all day, but on a heavier car, bro, the tires fucking ass after one lap.
So, which of course, badass to them. They really have it down to a freaking science over there, and that's incredible to me. But what the thing that gets me the most is when people are like, you're killing the sport. When we allowed pushrod V8s, oh, you're gonna kill the sport. Well, that was 7 years ago. The sport's still rocking. When we started allowing more things to come in, and we
They still kind of have that mentality though.
killing the sport. Okay. Now with the
There's Dye in the S2K. About to see what happens here.
Craig Coker actually created more emails and questions and people saying that shit, that's unfair than any other decision we've ever made. I thought the pushrod debate was the debate.
Currently over on F1 channel on ESPN.
The whole world thought differently.
Everyone's still on the starting grid right now.
The internet tend to be the non-competitors, you know that.
Interviews is normal, so
You're killing the sport.
should be starting soon.
Yeah, I mean, I 100%, I look at it and I go, the electric car is here to stay. It's going to continue to compete. It's going to continue to grow. And I can't wait when we start seeing some more interesting and more cool electric cars actually come, show up, and then see what they can do. Because that's going to make a huge development and huge growth of the sport, in my opinion.
No, look, I'm of the same opinion of you. We're all allowed to have our opinions of what we think about the cars, okay? But we're not allowed to have our opinions of what they can actually do or how we think they'll compete. Look, that's a straight-up plaid, gutted as much as possible, Andrew Brilliant aero package. We all know Andrew Brilliant. He's the U.S. aerodynamicist that has cars at World Time Attack who go fast. He's put in work in I believe he even helped with Nemo, to be honest with you, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong about that, but he's put his hand on so many things that have gone fast that he has the name. He's the guy. And he put all that, by the way, we're getting the fast group on.
Oh,
grid.
yeah.
We're
Here we
getting
go,
the fast
guys.
group on.
Damn,
grid.
there's some crazy ass cars coming out now.
Because it's fun to talk with Michael Wynn, the owner of a team. It's fun to talk with Kevin Burke, who is at the very pointy end of the limited class. None of them have ever felt what it's like to win GTA finals when it was Super Lap Battle back in the day. I remember you on the podium. I've known you for a very long time, and you almost had a look of broken elation when you won. You know, like, holy shit. All this hard work that I put in finally got me somewhere, especially with all the effort that you've put in and all the problems you've had. So I wanted you up here. It looks like we have life going out right now.
All right, here we go.
This is going to be one of the most exciting sessions that
It ran at 42 here at Button Willow.
we got
Go check out.
Motorsport Sydney. We also have
Is it On Grid? On Grid's Instagram.
Corvette, which is just
They reposted it.
obviously evasive and their S2000 and
It looks insane, dude. They have an actual onboard camera, and the acceleration of that car is fucking crazy. And obviously, to be running a 42, you can't have a shitty line either,
already in sub 40 than we've had in years.
or shed too much speed through the corners.
All that often
So,
because
dude behind the wheel
so much effort and so much time
definitely knew what he was doing.
you really have to take the time and respect what these guys are doing right now.
Oh shit!
And really understand that, there's teams, there's shops, there's everybody that puts all this time and effort into this, and it comes down to this one driver going out here and giving it his all and putting it all down for you guys to watch. Some
And
of the fastest
truth
times
be
in
told,
time
the
attack.
stories, this is where it gets
Here we
fun.
go.
You and I are both friends with the life guys, man.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
friends with the Pro A guys. Michael Lewin and Pro A's been doing this for 14 years. Okay, you remember, I remember, they've been here since the beginning, right? How do you really choose someone? Because like you heard me say earlier, man, I want to see Pro A win because to me, a Pro A victory means Pro A goes to Texas. They actually they don't have to win to get there, but they have an event where they didn't have an issue, where they can just come with confidence. Winning GTA finals, no matter what anyone thinks, if you've never been here, will give you a confidence that you don't understand until you've had it. That's why you, even with all your catastrophic, still always have the confidence.
See how my fantasy team's doing real quick.
I won GTA finals. I won Super Lap Battle, you know? So
Fantasy
where
football.
it gets difficult to me is, and while they're still doing a warm-up, I want to ask you this. This is something I asked Kevin privately, and he's, of course, very biased because he owns one, but did you ever think
Alright, running back got 10 points from me.
on the end of the stick?
Oh, not even close.
Thank you very much. I'm of the same belief. Though, you know, I have great friends that have been running them. You know, Sean from Project Imports had one forever. You saw, remember, 2009 Red Light Time Attack, same car, same chassis. Kevin Burke pushing limited, which I thought was the pinnacle class for them. He's proving it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, to see an S2000 at the pointy end of the unlimited field is something I never thought I would see.
Well, and especially when you start talking like what we're already talking about, right? The pushrod V8s, the electric cars coming up, and still you're talking about an S2000 pushing on the verge of 40s. Here we go.
Come on, give us a full fucking lap,
So
please.
this is life. They're on sticker tires. I'm going to tell you right now, I know Sean Cagel's on sticker tires. I don't know what Pro Oz on, but if anything, they're probably.
All right, everyone's running new tires, huh?
If you were listening yesterday, you heard Mike McGuinness gave Cole more power than he's ever ran in this car before.
This car looks fucking crazy.
Starting the lap.
He's already done a 38 in that car. Also, as a fan of old school time attack, you're probably a fan of seeing Evos win overall. Even though you're a Subaru guy, let's not forget, what these cars were.
Here we go.
We had the HKS CT 2009 Sierra Cyber Evo.
Oh, he's taking a big jump out of that.
He took a big jump through cotton right there.
He's pushing hard, guys.
Really
He's pushing
upset
really
the car.
hard. This is one of the hardest corners right here. As you come through here, you get down and you
Holy
brake,
fuck,
and
dude.
you turn in for bus stop and you hope and pray that your car grabs and goes.
Oh, it's crazy to see life. I know you watched it on stream in Texas. The car
Yesterday, I fucking talked some shit on him. They're getting beat by the C6, C5, whatever that is, the red one. Said, how are you going to have a wing on top of the wing and get your ass whooped by a C6?
smooth as can be. Looks like Sean is also hitting in a bus stop. Let's see how
But it came out today, ran a 37 already.
Oh my god, did you see him jump the right curve?
Bro, show us.
Really pushing hard. We're having Live Motorsports just finish through the sweeper coming through the S's.
And that's a pretty easy set of section for them.
This is where you rubber stamp the lap.
Yeah,
them,
really. The hardest corner.
All right, here we go.
The last corner when you're coming in with a good lap. He hit too much.
Oh, bro. Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Bro, I thought he was going to send it right to the fucking wall.
Century right there. Jaeger can
God damn.
1.9. Oh my god, he's
Dude, homie was on a fucking route for 35. Cars broke? 38.8. Still a second off.
Sean pulled it in.
Oh no, it looks like I bet you he had a small little incident around back. Something must have happened, but look, every year we have someone push the limits of that corner right there, and that's really a testament to Cole's driving and ability because I know you were thinking the worst case just like I was.
Here's the plaid.
Facing the wall.
38.9.
Sean Coker.
Dog, I thought we were about to see some shit. Look at that. Damn.
And that's
So close.
this is where it gets so difficult because is that car at the limit? Because he went out and just ripped a 43. That's what he did. Went out and ripped a 43 like first session, and we were all like,
E90 running a 47.5.
this is I think where it gets difficult. Is that the limit of the car? Is there any more
Kevin Burke,
yet into that chassis?
47.3. About 4/10 off of his PB.
Situation for them to see if they can get that car going a little faster. Just to kind of go back to
Second place in limited.
incident on the
Wong
front.
running a
So,
49.6.
I've struggled with this corner for many, many years. If you go back and look at any of my laps, even in my lap of a 141, I came around that corner and I messed up the final corner. And it comes into your adrenaline starts pumping as you're looking at that lap time. You're going through the S's like we already established. When you're going through the S's,
You know you're on a flyer.
it's good, it's flying, you're good. You get that last like 2 seconds that you get to actually look at your lap time coming in the final corner, and you go, oh, I know I'm on a good one. I just need to make sure I get my braking done, turn in, and go. And it can get you to that point where you go, okay, I want to get that. I need to get there. So I brake.
I haven't seen Dai's car yet.
In his case, it looked like he turned in a little too early.
He definitely graded up for this session, but haven't seen him yet.
I was going to say, if you've been watching it all, he's actually his fastest lap last time. He actually hit the berm and the whole car unsettled.
Yes.
So anyone who's driven here knows you do turn in early there. It's not a late turn in, but man, the margin is so small of where you can hit that properly.
Absolutely.
It does look like he was on a cooldown. That was a 206, so we know that he's going to go for another flyer. Pro, unlike Life, is not fuel limited on one lap, okay? Life is fuel limited, so we'll see what they do. Evasive is yet to run a lap. This hurt me a little bit because we assumed they were going to skip the first one. We have Mike Kojima out here, obviously a man of data. He wants to go through everything, make sure it's all good. But all I know is the last thing we wanted to see was Sydney in an incident. And truth be told, Cole's a professional, though. You and I both know he had to stay on the gas there to try and save that.
Okay, so I want you to really watch this.
We'll
car's
follow
attitude.
this car. Yeah, we'll follow this car around for
This
you guys.
thing is flying. He hits the skid plates. Oh, that was a good release out of there.
Yeah, we'll try to get this. If the drone's over there, we'll try to follow this car all the way around for you because Tom O'Gorman's a shoe, by the way. He may not be known by a lot of West Coast folks, but anyone who follows Time Attack, who follows series like that knows Tom O'Gorman gets in a car and he drives.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a phenomenal driver, and he's really putting down the laps here.
There we go. He just went over Phil Hill. We didn't get to see his line through there, but I'm going to assume it was nice. You know, from the top view, you never get to see us. Look how cattywampus the S's actually are.
Yeah.
Remember, like, they look so much straighter when you're driving through
Absolutely. They look super straight when you're driving. You got a good release out of there. We're seeing him just, thread the needle. Now we come into one of the hardest parts on the track. You got to get that braking in. Get it turned in. Don't take too much of that inside curb.
He turns in there. See, and I think he played it really safe.
He did. That was a very
really
safe. Really safe.
138.426.
Ooh, improved another 4/10.
Damn. Another 4/10. That's a pretty good chunk.
His fastest lap here was in. Okay, he had never.
All right, here we go. Here's Die.
And on his first lap in 2018, he did a 40. You of all people can say
Let's
no.
see this ship.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane.
So let's go ahead and see if we can follow Die around.
Yeah, here we go, Die.
It does look like, I don't know if they are on a flyer or if they're on a warm-up lap. Let me see what their time says. He actually hasn't tripped yet, so this is going to be a warm-up.
Oh, fucking Omega.com is back. Here we go. Our AI help you find perfect match. Fucking hell, dog.
Making sure it's all good.
That Voltex kit's gorgeous, though.
It is. It's absolutely a beautiful car.
Hurry up. If you need some help, 69omega.com. They're here in the comment section now to help you guys get a girl. Now's your chance before I go ahead and remove these comments.
Oh, absolutely, and we always make the joke, but the West Coast, the one thing that's always been key here, like I'll talk about the car for a second. It's got a wood split, okay? It's homemade aero. It's got a Lumalite diffuser. It has everything that they proved a normal track guy can build, and they support the product.
Absolutely.
If you listen to Michael Lewin up here,
The bots are wild, dog.
They support the product. So they wanted to make sure that it does look like Die may be coming in.
Yeah.
Or is he setting up for the... No, it looks like he's setting up.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. I'm going to say 39-2.
You know they're not making the power everyone else is.
Yeah, I would. Do you know how much power they're making?
I do not. I don't.
Got the turbo fans on the rear wheels.
How to keep an F reliable.
Are they still on the F?
Dude in India putting in work.
I don't think they're going to be making 1,000. I do believe they're still on an F, though. I truly do
Like,
believe they're still
I
on
would
an F.
venture, you have to be, easily have to be 6 to 8. Yeah,
6 to 8.
100%.
I agree. 6 to 8. But
Which is a lot of power.
We're talking
but
like, you and I both know that if life wanted to turn that wheel all the way up, they're a 4-digit car.
yeah, absolutely. I think I read Cole posted between 12 and 14.
Holy fuck, what?
To be fair, though, they're pushing a lot more air.
They're also pushing a lot more weight.
Correct.
That is a huge factor, and that's something you actually saw.
Oh!
Okay, so he held it in. Yeah, he absolutely held it in. We were talking, funny enough.
He was so close.
The people online were like, well,
Man's on the edge.
Anyone who's comfortable on the limit of a car, drifting is going to be fast in a road race environment.
Now, we have seen drifters come in and they get a little too happy with slip angle, and that actually hurts their lap time.
So I have someone giving me a little bit of inside info. Word on the street is Evasive's only making 650.
I could believe it.
To be running 42s and 41s with 650 horsepower.
Crank it up. Crank the shit up. Let's go.
One thing we always get really hung up on, dyno numbers, right?
Always. Oh, they're a tool.
And they're a tool.
Dyno numbers. Where's Aki Soto at?
Con of it all.
He probably got the M50 manifold on the car.
Appropriately. At the end of the day, it's taking everything working properly in this car, from the dampening to the power to the aero to the driver.
Oh, 100%.
That's
One thing Evasive's always been a bit of a cohesive team. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And I have a fear that they did not.
141.299.
141.299. Die really laying it down.
That's such an impressive time for that car. Absolutely impressive.
And I hate that we're qualifying like that because I feel like we have so much.
All right, let's see. F1 is about to start right now.
Absolutely.
What the fuck, man?
Die comes out and just lays the hammer. And truth be told, I feel really bad saying that because great friends in Australia, Brett Dickey, like he's the king, and he's gonna cut me later for talking trash.
F1 about to start.
But Kevin Burke proving it too. But just seeing them at the pointy end of the stick, it's so impressive to me as anyone who knows me knows I've been a fan of this sport longer than I've worked for the sport. You know, I've been with teams, I've helped drivers.
All right, ladies,
Brought me on staff.
I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go watch the F1 race, and then like I said, I'll be back on for the last sessions, and then for the one lap showdown. But I'm a lot more interested in this race than I am waiting around for 2 cars to drive around the track. So, talk to y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you shortly.